All right, guys. Joe's going to be doing some squats with some, they're going to be body weight squats, and he's going to do some of them, but not all of them, I don't believe. Calf lift body weight squats with them for a portion of this time. And he ain't trying to set nothing. Day before yesterday, he did 1,000 push-ups in 58 minutes, so I don't want to put no more on him during the course of this week. Heavy stuff on him. So of course he's already done some bag work and such today, but he's going to do these body lift squats, and we're welcome to join you in. And also, he's probably going to go for 30 minutes, but if he gets giddy, he'll go on and do them for an hour maybe. But I want to remind you all, you can do anything, just start with 2 or 3 at a time and do it during the same exercise during the course of a day, every hour or so. And then before you know it, you'll be doing a heavier numbers and building your tolerance level up for the boxing game or any sport. So you about ready, son? All righty, let's give it a roll. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count with him. I'm going to let him do his own count here. And notice he's going at a good slow pace here. And you may see Rocky coming in and out of the picture, our beautiful German Shepherd that we love dearly. He's the baby of the family, and we love you. Yes, we do. You're my bestest friend. Me and Joe and you are the 3 amigos, 3 musketeers.
I just got 20.
Got 20? All right, yeah, just do them however you feel comfortable with them. And Joe had his splurge last night, had 2 little bitty brownie snack cakes, little bitty things. I was like, you want something, son? I'm like, you've been carnivoring it to death here if you want something. Didn't make you sick, did it? Didn't make you sick, did it?
No.
No? All right. Sometimes he'll eat something now, and because he's, on a really, really high protein minus carb diet, and that's another misconception I want to tell you guys. You don't really need to knock all the carbs out of your diet, but it's my belief that the carnivore diet is the best diet for any type of combat sport and any kind of contact sport. And but it's nice to splurge now and again. And I ask Joe every day, you want this, you want that? And he's like, no, and sticking to his diet really fervently. And but once you get on a very good carnivore diet with clean meats and chickens and even some porks here and there, and fish. Joe's not a fish eater, but if you like fish, that's in the diet. And eggs and things like that, and a plethora of other things. What'll end up happening is you'll end up your body will adjust to that diet, and you'll have all the energy you need. That's my philosophy on this, and at the moment, but philosophies can change. But I'm seeing the output that Joe's got on this diet, and his cardio, muscular endurance, all of it's just increasing on this diet. Now, good thing if you're able to do it, especially as a younger fighter coming up, if you can get an afternoon nap, if you can fit that in somewhere, try to get it. If you can't, be early to bed, or as early as you can, because while you're sleeping, the most recuperation is going on. And of course, you guys know that follow the channel regularly, you know that Joe does some dumbbell work, and he does barbell military presses. Every once in a while, he'll do barbell squats, and he'll get on the leg push-up machine where you can lay down on your back and push the weight up. He loves that machine. And he'll get on the hamstring pull-up machine where he can work the back side of his legs. And he'll use a barbell sometimes with the calf lifts as well. And if you might hear Rocky in the background crying, he'll sit and sometimes get a little bit of anxiety or something. He's coming over to me right now. He'll get in a little crying fit and be like, make me the center of the attention. And you are the center of our attention, Rocky. Precious boy. Precious boy. He hadn't really run much today, so he's going to need to be done in the park. I can't say the actual words because his ears will draw up and he'll be like, let's G.O. All right, just relax. He'll be done soon. He'll be done soon, boy. Just look and see what's going on. Oh boy, did we change the camera mode? We did? Put it back on 9/16, or did I not have it on the other setting when you... Okay, oh, the setting doesn't make a difference no more, that's right. We are living in the information age, so there's a lot of information that you have access to, but you have to thoroughly vet what you're looking at, and what works for boxer A through D may not work for boxers Y through Z. So you have to find things that work, and we've done a lot of experimentation, and I've done a lot of experimentation with different young fellas, and this is what we do is the best thing that seems to work for Joe. And on occasion where we have another fella or two, they may be doing something a little bit different. But the 100% constant there is hard work, and that's why nobody sticks around. Of course, Diego, if you go back and look at some older videos, that kid was about 100 and I can't remember, I was 5 or 10 pounds. I got him up to, in a short period of time, what did he get up to? About 127 pounds. Diego got up to about 127.
Yeah.
Little Diego. Yeah. I was talking about how, you know, we got him built up, you know. And that kid would try his damnedest to match whatever Joe was doing. And they ended up having to move away, and we had a problem. Joe hit him with a jab in sparring, and one of his teeth came out onto the floor, and he came back a few times after that, but then they ended up moving. So he was out for a little while after that, and Joe didn't mean to do that. Joe's just, his punches are very heavy. It's hard to see the power or strength on the other side of these videos, but Joe's just horsing around with him and gave him a light jab, and it connected right, and that tooth came flying out on the floor. And we're not bodybuilding around here, but we are building a highly destructive machine. And right now, at the 16-year-old amateur level that Joe's at, I'd put him up against anybody in the world, and I'd go in with total confidence that he'd get a knockout. And when I say any 16-year-old in the world, I mean anybody anywhere in the world. At 16 years old. At heavyweight, which Joe would be in right now. Right now, Joe would be he's over light heavy. We'd really be cruiserweight, but right now at the amateur classification in Olympic amateur boxing, he would be in the heavyweight. Because he's hovering around 200 pounds right now pretty consistently. Which is shocking to me, and when his work output goes down, I get kind of nervous he'll start gaining bukus of weight. But we've been lucky. He's took a week off here and there, and he's went back in and held the same weight. But if he quit boxing, he'd have to take something else up, because something else rather vigorous, because I believe he'd be stacking on some pounds. He's a little over 5'9" right now. It's where I want him. I'm expecting him to grow 2 or 3 more inches, but it's the height I'm looking for because it fits the style of fight that we do. And it's always an advantage to fight a taller guy. So I know that's the complete flip side of probably everything you've been taught. But if you've got the power and can move and get on the inside, it is a huge advantage. You heard Joe. Joe said it's really easy. And Joe sparred some very, very big, very, very tall fellas, but it hadn't been hard sparring, but hadn't been too much hard sparring with anybody because can't nobody take it. But he got in. This guy was 6'5", 220, 230-ish, and thought, oh, well, I'm going to have to take it easy on Joe. And I'm like, no, try to hit him. And Joe slung out one jab, and he felt that power, and Joe had him. It's had him and several other guys. They'll do the same old. They'll start running all over the place once they feel it, and that's a good thing to have and possess. So, and I want to ask everybody, if you're in boxing, we had a fatality last week or during this week in what country was it? It's in Africa. It was in West Africa. And the guy that passed, he had a what they're believing to be a coronary event in the ring. So they're thinking that he had a heart attack, and he made it for another week and then passed on. And I went and looked at the fight. Of course, these two guys were professionals. And Joe, both of us were like, oh my gosh, these guys aren't even fighting as hard as we spar, It was just weird. And both the guys had over 20 pro fights, but it's obvious that they weren't checked out properly before they got in the ring and such. So it was kind of a big event for what West Africa would put on, but I've seen multitudes of comments stating that maybe they shouldn't be boxing where they're boxing because the doctors aren't real, and that's a big thing that any of you living in North America or Europe should understand, is that when you get out in these third world countries, these actual medical doctors or surgeons aren't real. The schooling is way minus off of what you get in the first world, and it is really hit or miss. And we have in Latin America, there's people that die weekly from abscessed teeth that they can't figure out what the problem is, and they'll give out, maybe they get something for pain, but they get taken from infection and things. And it's just a sad story, and especially that I believe in all the Latin American countries you can get antibiotics of all varieties over the counter. That people are just not being, that should be the first thing that's done if you got any type of swelling going on that's in your mouth, that you need to get on an antibiotic, even as a precaution, but I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, you read it from almost daily. You hear about someone from something as simple as that. What you got now, Joe? 300. How you feeling? All right. How much time you got? 10? 19? Well, just maybe go 30 and call it a real easy thing, because you've already done a lot of bag work and other stuff, and get your body rested up on the weekend. Of course, tomorrow as normal, we'll go up and do a little bit of bag work, and when I say we'll go up and do a little bit of bag work, all he really does, he won't even do any jump rope. Well, maybe he does, but it'll be just enough to what you would do in a normal boxing gym, maybe 5 minutes or so, and he'll just hit a heavy bag. So, and we won't even do a lot of rounds. Maybe he'll do 5 or 10 rounds of it. Just, yeah, well, for you, it's just warm up. For the next fella, that might be a complete hard workout, but yeah. Because you've had a very hard week this week, so when you are done with this is going to be it. Maybe tie a bag work in the morning, and that's all she wrote for the week. Lay around, rest, watch you a movie here or there, or whatever, and relax it, recuperate. But his, usually when I'm going to get back on the carnivore diet, when you get on a carnivore diet, for a lot of people, especially if you're overweight, if you get on one, you will start shedding a lot of fat. In Joe's case, I'm sure he is shedding some fat, but however, he is gaining some weight right now as this diet is settling in on him. But it's muscular. So you just have to keep working, folks, and doing the best you can. Keep motivated. And nothing will motivate you more, actually, than watching your numbers increase. And y'all gonna be seeing me in the background helping Rocky out here. I don't care, we're real around here. We are real around here. So sometimes with a larger breed dog, you need to help them wipe their rear up pretty good. You guys are going to hear me washing my hands here. But we are very real around here. You guys that's been watching for a while, you know it, because sometimes I fly off into some big things. And sometimes I apologize for sometimes maybe I use some coarse words. Sometimes it's very hard, but I'm getting old, and as I get older, I'm getting more temperamental and more set in my ways, and it's hard to look at this world today if you were brought up in the 60s or 70s and looking at this world and how it's changed and start figuring it's for the better. Of course, a lot of things are better, easier, I'll say, but I'll rephrase that and take back the word better, because it's gotten so easy for a lot of folk that it's only hurting folk and not going for folks. Golly, when I was a little boy, I started seeing this change at some point in the 90s as well. I guess it was due to crime and things like that, but even the younger kids up through the 80s, probably the early 90s, kid would go outside and stay outside all day and be running around, building forts, going into the woods, climbing trees, getting broke arms, coming back scratched and banged up, getting in fights, coming back, facing the bully, mom or dad nursing a black eye or bloody lip, all sorts of things. And you don't see that no more, and we wonder why men are weaker. And that's by design, folks. That's the way they want it for you. They don't want strong men. And I'll tell you something, a lot of women don't want strong men till they need one to take care of them, till they need one to protect them. And so, of course, I ain't gonna get off on that, but I'm just saying the world has changed, and changed a lot. How many minutes you got? How many reps have you got? 420. You gonna try to get 500? At least you get an even number. I don't care if you stop now, but and notice how he's not coming up full in the back. His back is staying arched over. And that's because he's in his style he uses, he stays arched over in the ring. Not all the time, but most of the time. The method behind what we do. And you wouldn't know it. People come on, they'll comment, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this way. You need to do this like this. And some of the time, a lot of people, it makes sense, but most of the time we're seeing like, Joe and myself will be like, what in the world are they talking about? They don't even know what we're doing this particular thing for. I had a guy the other day, he was an MMA enthusiast, and of course he didn't mean nothing by it, but he was telling me, oh, you ought to have the kid hit the bag with nobody holding it. And as a matter of fact, the short we put up yesterday, we didn't do a full regular video, but we did a short or two, Joe hitting the heavy bag, and it was only because I didn't have the tripod with us that I wasn't holding the bag. And I'm like, come on now. And what it is, he's only seen people the majority of the time from with nobody holding a bag. And particular bag Joe's hitting, it's it's not the biggest heavy bag in the world, to say the least. And if I don't hold it and he goes full on, he'll tear that bag right down. So it's just some things people, and some people do things differently and they're taught in different ways, or different ways work better for them. And it's easy to get in your head, well, this is the only way to do this thing or that thing. And that's something I'm seeing lost today. Everybody's got a 1 through 10 process, A through Z process. And by golly, everybody's got to do it the same way. And we knew years ago that was hogwash, and I don't know why today we're supposedly so much advanced. I believe we're dumbed down in due to a lot of the technology we have, but getting smarter, no, I don't think we are, because we've gotten as societies where we got a lot of tunnel vision. And I tell Joe every day, well, that's good for you, because as long as you don't have that tunnel vision, can think out the box, do what's going to work best in your situation, you're going to have the advantage, because others aren't going to be able to even ascertain the knowledge, because it won't be there for them, that being on the outside looking in and doing what's best for fighter A might not be the best for fighter Q, you know. And you see these gyms are all assembly lined. What you got now? You done? All right, well, we're going to call it a finish right now. That was 500 squats with a few calf lifts or extensions, whatever you prefer to call them, of the body weight squats and calf lifts. He threw a few of them in there here and there. So we want to tell y'all we love you. We hope y'all have a great weekend. I'll finish this as usual. Up in here in this house, Christ is our King, our Lord, and our Savior. And we hope He is up in yours too. And have a great week, everybody, and much love to you all.